Yeah, all right. I'll get us started and then take the questions. As we kind of shift our focus to the Saints, understand the rivalry. And when I was in Washington, it was every game counts one. Eagles and Giants are big time divisional rivals, but the Cowboys were this team that, mattered a little bit more. In Minnesota, it was the Packers, a border state. It was a big deal. And here I just get the sense that, that's the Saints. And it's a great challenge for us. And we take that challenge seriously. And so, it'll be a great opportunity. And we got the really cool throwback jerseys we're wearing this week, so that'll be fun. Looking forward to getting back out there in front of our fans and trying to get a bad taste out of our mouths and go get a win on Sunday. So take any questions you have.
Kurt, Coach Zach was talking about the third down, looking at that thus far this season. What do you all come up with maybe to get that percentage a little bit higher?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of factors. I wish it was as simple as one thing we could hone in on, but it's probably a variety, and among that would be, let's get in third and shorter distances, first of all, and then when we have like a 3rd and 1, let's try to, it kind of takes on a different framework than when you're in 3rd and 6. You might be in the shotgun and dropping back, but trying to get the short yardage, trying to get those more medium ranges as opposed to being in 3rd and 10 plus too often. And then I think a lot of that comes down to your 1st and 2nd down offense, and staying out of penalties. And so everything kind of builds on one another. And then some of those 3rd downs are in the red zone. And so really you kind of talk, yes, it is 3rd down, but it's a little different when it's 3rd and goal from the 4. That's a different thing than 3rd and 4 at the 50-yard line. So trying to be really effective in our 3rd down red zone offense. And that's a place I think we can be better. So those are a couple ways to improve it. And then outside of that, I think you'll get a lot, as you look at it, you get a lot of one-offs where you say, well, on that one play, that was the reason we didn't convert, but that wasn't a repeating theme throughout all these 3rd downs. So then you get a few of those one-offs where it's harder to feel like that's a consistent thing to point to.
Yeah, I counted 10 of those. 5, 3, and 10s, and I gave them 9. The 9s in there, threw them in there.
9 yards to go.
Yeah,
good.
9.
Me too. I would throw it in there too. That's pretty far. 9's a lot farther than 6.
So,
Appreciate you giving us that 9.
So it's like 10. You're still 6 or 17. So it's that's probably a couple more there.
Yeah.
It looked like some were just misses.
I think so. I think there's. I was pretty sick to my stomach, walking off the field and, Sunday night, Monday morning, Monday night, Tuesday morning, Tuesday night, with some of those, opportunities we did have that we didn't capitalize because, when I vent to family or whatever, one of the things my brother said was, hey, everything you're telling me, Kirk, these are all fixable. This is all stuff that it's not like you're throwing up your hands going, what do we do next week? This is all stuff that you go back, you talk about it, you resolve it, and you'll be better next week. So I'm taking that approach of, a lot of the stuff that I look back and go, man, I wish it was different. It can be addressed, it can be fixed. We have the players, we have the coaches, and we can go be better.
Zach said you guys go through 3rd downs on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you practice? Is it just making sure
Yeah.
the short yardages, or what are you doing?
Yeah, the way it's always been for me in the league, every team I've played on, Wednesday becomes kind of a 1st and 2nd down emphasis. Thursday becomes a 3rd down emphasis, and Friday becomes a red zone emphasis. And then you can certainly sprinkle things in around that, but that's kind of how you stack it and how you prepare, how you watch tape throughout the week. So, I always feel like Thursday is your big day, your long day because of that, because 3rd downs are so important. Your walkthrough is very important. Your practice reps are important, your post-practice reps, and then even the tape you watch and kind of the review at night when you go back over it to make sure you're dotting I's, crossing T's, and thinking of down the line issues that could come up. So Thursday's a big day every week as you prepare because of the emphasis on 3rd down.
Important work happening with Ryan Newsel at center.
Yeah.
That's obviously overlooked but very important.
No doubt.
For
No
you.
doubt.
Over the course of your career, what's a characteristic in a center that you value
Sure.
in the moment?
Well, I think you love the ability to kind of see the whole picture, be decisive, making calls quickly. You like the sense of urgency from a center because you're always fighting the play clock, and the center kind of leads the tempo out of the huddle to the line of scrimmage, making the call, getting everything set. And so you want them to move fast and almost be a step ahead of you. And it's great that Newsell's had so much action and has played a lot, been around a while. So, there's subtle differences where he's a lefty instead of a righty, or, how the ball may rotate on a pistol snap or a gun snap. You just got to, get the reps to get comfortable with it. But, once you do, it just goes instinctually.
You talk a lot about shared history and kind of constantly from OTAs to training camp and everything. I think I know how you're going to answer this, but the first 3 games with this kind of new group, the opponents were a combined record of 8-1.
Yeah.
In every game.
Yeah.
Opportunities to win every game.
Right.
I know how you probably feel about that, but there's some solace in that. Like, we're not far off of the best teams in the league.
I feel like you're being really kind. And I appreciate it. He's coming up with 3rd and 9 instead of 3rd and 10. You're kind of giving me the out to talk about how, glass half full. You guys are nicer than I'm used to. So I think I would say yes. Okay. I agree that I knew going into this, hey, there's going to be some growing pains. We're going to have to figure this out as we go because there is some newness. But it's the NFL, and nobody wants to hear that, and I don't really want to hear that. And so, the season started against the Steelers. There was no, ramp up. So, talking out 2 sides of my mouth, but you kind of opened the door to do that. So I think you know what I'm saying. We got to be better.
Like, I guess in there is the new group, and there's also you coming off the injury. What have been like the hardest things about the first 3 games as far as like is it mental with the injury? Is there nothing at all? Like what is kind of going on?
I don't walk off the field saying the ankle affected the game. I do say we're going to keep getting better as we get more time on task together. But I think every other team's saying that too. So there's a little bit of every week that we get those experienced reps, so is our opponent, and so it can only take you so far in that regard.
But do you feel like there's that getting better? There's more upside because
I think so. I came out the field feeling like Mooney and I had a little more of a connection than we had maybe in the first game of the year. Drake as well. I think that getting Kyle going on that big corner route for a big gain. I just think the more we can put that on tape, have those shared experiences, I think it'll build confidence, anticipation, trust, all those things you want to have with your receivers, and then the same too from a coach standpoint, game planning standpoint, just knowing that what he wants, what he's looking for. Hey, when I get this pressure, he wants the ball to go here. Just the more we stack up time together, the more you kind of can finish each other's sentences.
When you're looking at this week and the next couple with all these division matchups, like just how important are these next couple weeks?
Yeah, I think you can talk out 2 sides of your mouth. On one hand, they all count 1. And you got to find, the wins wherever you can get them, and you're not going to, really differentiate one over another. They all count 1. I think then you can also talk about how NFC South games, sort of count a little more because the goal is to win the South and be able to host a playoff game. So, that has value. And then you talk about the Saints being a rival, and so you certainly feel like, these games here now approaching, do have that added weight.
I know that you're.
Well, the first rivalry game against the Saints, but I'm wondering if you've caught the vitriol from your in-laws and how much big of Falcons fans they are. Have you gotten?
I've definitely got it. I've got it from a lot of fans in town. They made it clear going back to if I would be out in public in April, May. I mean, they made it clear they take the S off of the team name. So it's a big deal, and so we want to deliver for our fans. I thought they brought a great environment on Sunday night. It was great energy, and I want to see that continue throughout the season.
Justin Simmons was talking in the locker room after the game about how he felt like it was important to find you on the field and share a conversation, telling you, hey, I think that we have a good team. We could be really good. Mm-hmm. How important is it for a defensive guy on your team to do that and then to also ask you, how do we get better on our side?
Yeah, I appreciate him. I appreciate Jesse. Certainly their experience, the pros that they are, the players they are, the way they've been playing this year. I just value their perspective, and I just think our defense has been playing winning football, and that's encouraging. Going back to being glass half full, when you see the way our defense is playing, you say, hey, that's going to give us a shot here, as we move forward, because you do. I think you do need to have strong defensive play to have a chance. I've been a part of some teams where you had really good offense, but when the defense was struggling, it was hard to win. And so when you can play complementary football, it is where you can really take off. And when I look at our defense, I see them playing winning football, and that's really encouraging.
And then going back to the center conversation, I know it's such a critical position for you to be successful. So how quick were you like, hey, Newsel, let's get on the same page?
I was sprinting to the sideline when I saw Drew go down. Well, first of all, Drew was walking towards the sideline, and I'm thinking, no, don't trot into the bench. You go down on the ground so you can buy me time to get some snaps with Newsel. So I was like, you go down, take all the time you need, TV timeout, run a bunch of commercials. And I was screaming for Newsel, and I said, give me a ball. So I was screaming for a football. And so, then we just started getting under center snaps, shotgun snaps, pistol snaps, just trying to make sure that it was be as clean as possible.
But it obviously goes well beyond just snapping you the football left.
Yeah.
It goes
Yeah, right.
fronts and all that stuff.
Yes. So after the series, just conversation on the sideline of, hey, here's what we're thinking. Here's what we were doing with Drew, on this look. And, in the huddle even, hey, I want you to go this way for this look. But he did great. He handled it really well, no surprise. And, I expect that to continue.
Across the league, passing kind of across the board has been down.
Yeah.
Rushing has been up,
Okay.
at historic levels. Is there anything to that?
Yeah, I don't quite know what to make of that. I was noticing that a little bit to myself as I was just observing. There's certainly games where there is a lot of production, but it didn't seem across the board there was as much as I was used to, 5-6 years ago. Don't know what to make of that, but keep me posted if.
Our defense is getting better. Are they changing?
Rules have changed a little bit in different ways throughout the years. I don't know if that affects things. Cutting. Rules have changed about cutting in the league over the years to protect defensive players, and I have no idea if that makes a difference or not. I bet a lot of people would tell you it has no impact. So I don't really know.
Besides getting used to like the fronts and coverages with Newsel, he's a lefty. So is it different getting it from him? Did you have to make any adjustments getting used to catching it from him?
Typically with lefty is very different. He actually does a pretty good job of making it feel seamless when he snaps it under center, and then the gun snaps. Yeah, the ball may rotate a little different or spin different, but nothing too major as long as you can get used to it.
Anything else?
Couple
Yeah, just
for
a
you.
couple.
Go ahead, D-Lo.
Yeah, it's from your Michigan State out here.
Yeah, I know Jerry. Yeah.
Yeah, he just wants to know if you had any advice for Jaden Daniels and your own experience in DC for the young kid that's taking over there.
Yeah.
And then where you at with the red helmets?
Our red helmets with the Falcons, I love them.
Jaden Daniels and red helmets. You're in there.
Okay, so we'll start with the red helmet. I absolutely love it. A lot of comments at practice today. Guys really thought it looked sharp. We'll see when we get the full uniform on Sunday, but I'm optimistic it's going to look pretty good. And then Jaden, I think, is off to a great start. Played great Monday night. I think anything I would tell him, he would already know. And he seems to be enjoying it, have a smile on his face. He's playing well. He seems to be, have good teammates. Getting Terry McLaurin the football seemed to be a good decision there. And so I think he's off to a good start.
You enjoyed sharing the room this summer and the OTAs with Tyler Heineke. He's probably going to start on Sunday. What did you like about working with him and how good do you think he'd be out there in LA?
Yeah, I think he can be really good. I think first of all, the amount of starts he has, the experience he has, meant a lot to me. Knowing that he's been in the fire and could share his perspective. I think also having played with this team, this group of guys last year, he was able to give me a lot of valuable perspective on, hey, I would think about this, or hey, this is what I noticed from this guy from last year. So he kind of was able to get me caught up to speed quickly. He was just a lot of help, great resource. I was sad to see him go because I knew how valuable he could be to me throughout the season. We'll be really pulling for him, this game or however long he plays. And, he just has a great feel for the position. And I just respect, the path he took to go where he got. It's one thing to kind of have everybody pave the way for you, but when you didn't have that, it says something about who you are as a person and a player because you do have to overcome so much, and he's done that. All right, thank you.